Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I am here at the All Black National Convention. The 2019 convention is being hosted right here in Houston. That's where I am located right now. And I wanted to take a second to basically make sure that I was thorough in a post I did earlier. You guys saw earlier today I was talking about Killer Mike and T.I. and this whole situation with Jamal Bryant's church. And basically, apparently T.I. took issue with the fact that there was a tithe or a tithe offering that was requested at the time that they were that he walked into the church. And he felt like it was a money grab by the pastor. And the pastor wasn't Jamal Bryant at the time. The pastor was somebody else. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear me on, if you're watching me live on YouTube, but you may not be able to hear me. So I'm actually have to cut this live feed because for whatever reason, it's not coming through okay. So let me see if I can make this work. If I can't make it work, I'm going to have to shut this down because for some reason, YouTube is acting crazy. So anyway. So here's what basically went down, and I want to make sure I'm thorough in terms of giving you Killer Mike's perspective on what was said and making sure that you guys have the whole story on this. Y'all know my opinion. I felt that that maybe there was a possibility that T.I. was a little bit harsh on the pastor by criticizing him for for the offering. I think there's always sort of this consistent narrative that every pastor is ripping people off because they're asking for money. I don't believe that. I don't believe that every pastor is ripping you off because they ask for a donation because because you got to keep the lights on. You got to keep the bills paid. It's not easy to run any organization. And also remember that we do a lot of supporting for white people in their businesses when we don't ask any questions when that happens. We love giving white people our money for anything that they ask for, including things like iPhones and Popeye's chicken or whatever, right, to the tune of billions of dollars a year. So I'd say if a person is doing good work in the community, or they offer you a quality product, or they have a black business and the product's solid, why not give them a few dollars? It's not a big deal. There are bigger fish to fry. But here's what Killer Mike sent to me, and I'm going to read this to you guys. I apologize if you were watching the live stream on drboycetv.com. I had to shut that off because it was not working. But some of you may see this video on Instagram, and some of you, which is the real Boyce Watkins, some of you may see it on another platform. But here's what Killer Mike texted me after I told him that I was going to have this conversation. I texted him because I wanted to make sure there was no misunderstandings, that this was not meant to be criticism toward him, T.I., or Jamal Bryant. I got to text Jamal as well. I haven't texted him yet. I don't know T.I., but it's definitely all love. So one thing he said was all good. More than anything, it's important to remember it was resolved with love and respect online with both parties, and no harm was meant. So he's basically saying that his friend T.I. did not mean to go after Jamal Bryant or undercut him, and I like that. I like guys that stay on code and kind of say, look, we may not agree on a certain thing, but that doesn't mean we got to blast each other and attack each other. We don't win when we're all attacking each other. Real men know how to come back together and talk later on. It will remain that as well. The criticism was for another minister, so he makes it clear that he wasn't talking about Jamal Bryant. He said Tip was sure to say it was not Jamal, but the other minister. With that said, new birth. Let's see, he was raised as a result, so God don't make no mistakes. Okay, Jamal got new birth. Okay, the text is kind of coming in different pieces, so some parts may not make sense. New birth was given a surge of attention, and I'm sure more money has been raised as a result. Absolutely. So basically the attention that they brought to the church when Kanye and T.I. came through, that I'm sure helped them raise lots of money, which I think is a wonderful thing. He says, Tip and I will continue our tithes at Magic City and Blue Flame, which those are, I guess, Atlanta strip clubs. I don't know about Blue Flame. I only know about Magic City. He says they're both black owned and operated, which is fine. I think it's debatable, right? I'd love to get you guys' opinion on that. I'm not going to condemn anybody who goes to strip clubs. Strip club culture is a big deal in Atlanta. Just if you're from Atlanta, just know that ain't normal everywhere. Everywhere people ain't into strip clubs as much as they are in Atlanta. But it is what it is, right? I'm not here to judge that. That's not my thing. But at the same time, I think it's fine, and strippers got to eat too, I guess. And there's not, and they're, I'm sure they're good people and everything else, and they work hard for their money. And I think that what the reason I brought up the stripper thongs earlier is because I was kind of just asking T.I. I said, look, if a pastor asks you for a donation, if he asks for $500, And he can show you a long list, a long string. And this is what Jamal Bryant said in his post. He said, look at all the programs we have. He said, we fed this many people. We created this many scholarships. We sent money. We sent stuff to Barbados. We did this. We did this. We did this. He named a long list of things that they were doing and said, not one time did we solicit a donation from you. Not one time did we ask you for any money. He didn't criticize him. He didn't say, not one time did you give us anything. He just said, we did not ask you for nothing in any of those situations. And I basically said, so let's say a pastor does ask you for $500. What if I was to compare that to the amount of money that, the brothers like to drop in strip clubs? You're a rapper. I know rappers love to just go to the strip club and make it rain and all that. And that's fine. There's no judgment there. But I think, when you talk about efficient uses of money and you add up the amount of money that we give to white people, the amount of money that we spend on things that we don't need, things that are not helpful to anybody, the amount of money we might put in stripper thongs, black owned or not black owned, I say it's okay to also put at least a fraction of that toward, healthy, ethical churches that are doing, good work in the world. Not every church is crooked. Not every church is corrupt. Not every pastor is a bootleg pastor. It's a case-by-case basis, and I think it's very important that we always remember that. And also, there's no vow of poverty that should be taken by anybody who is providing a service to the community, whether it's a pastor who is giving a good sermon that makes you feel better about your life and helps you get out of bed that morning, or a rapper who raps a good song for you and the song lifts your spirits. T.I. is a rapper. He makes millions of dollars as a rapper. He tells us all about that. And I don't necessarily see, I see kind of a balance. You can make an argument either way of which adds more value to society, which adds more value to a person's life. A good song or a good sermon. I say that they both add value, right? And that's why you get paid, because when people have talent and they work hard and they create something that is artistic and impactful and meaningful and inspirational for you, then we pay them. Dave Chappelle gets paid because he stands on the stage and tells good jokes and he makes us laugh, so we help him get money off of that. There's nobody saying Dave Chappelle is a scammer or that he is a fraud because he gets money for basically standing on stage and talking, right? Nobody will ever say that, right? Or most people won't, right? So I don't think that a pastor is a scammer or a fraud just because he stands on the stage and gets paid for that, because apparently the reason he's making money is because he's good at what he does, right? And also remember, churches have bills to pay. If they're doing work in the community, that costs money. It's very, very hard. Very few things are more difficult than being a black business owner or running a black organization, because black people, the most successful boycott black people have ever had is the boycott against black businesses. There's been no boycott from the black community ever to be more successful than the boycott of black people against black people. Black people boycott black businesses more than they ever sustained a boycott against any other group of people. In fact, the Louis Vuitton owner, the guy who created Louis Vuitton, Moet, and Hennessy, this motherfucker's worth over $100 billion because we love Louis Vuitton, Moet, and Hennessy. And ain't nobody digging no dirt up on him. Ain't nobody calling him a scammer. Ain't nobody doing no investigations. Ain't nobody looking into him. But a black man, don't let a black man go make $20. Then it's like, that nigga took all my money. That nigga's out here robbing the black community. You are a scammer, sir. Sir, you are a fraud. You are a fraud and a scammer, sir, because you sell a product. Only people that sell products are frauds and scammers because you're supposed to be broke like me. And you ain't, so I think it's tacky. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. So I don't think Tip contributes to that. I don't think he intended to contribute to that. I'm really talking about all of us as a community in terms of really looking at our economic hypocrisy and finding ways to do better and to be smarter about how we look at things. Now, let me read more about what Killer Mike says he and T.I. are doing. He says they're also partnering to reopen a 50-year-old black-owned restaurant called Bankhead Seafood and should be employing 75 to 100 folks in about a year with that endeavor, as well as other redeveloping our communities we grew up in. I love that. I think that's wonderful. I think I will go to Bankhead Seafood and I will definitely enjoy many, many meals there, and I will support it. I will promote it. I think it's a great idea because Dr. Claude Anderson talked about extensively how he was in the seafood business. The Powernomics author, Dr. Claude Anderson, who has consulted extensively with Killer Mike and others, he was in the seafood business. It didn't go so well for him, but it's okay. In business, you swing, and sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. But seafood is an area where black people actually can make moves, so there's nothing wrong with that. He says we're redeveloping the communities we grew up in, and not just coming back for credibility and bullshit. I love that. I am not of any Abrahamic religious stuff. He and I are both jobs providers, and actually are belief. So let my auntie tell it. I'm hellbound anyway. Okay, he says I'm hellbound. He says have a dope day, Doc. Cheering for your marathon moves. And I'll tell you, Mike, I like Mike because Mike always has very good energy. He's a very positive, intelligent human being. I like this brother from the moment I met him. From the moment I met him, I think Mike is one of the great leaders of our generation. I have a lot of respect for that. And I think T.I. is one of the great leaders, definitely in the hip-hop community. And we need guys like that, like T.I. and D1, and just these guys that are really, and ladies as well, that are just really doing the thing and doing it, in a way that's so productive and so wonderful. So I applaud these individuals, and I consider them to be my allies and friends, and they'll always be my allies. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, he's at the All Black National Convention right now. I talked to Willie yesterday, and we were talking about some different things he wants to do when he's running for Willie D for District B. I know that's his website, Willie D for District B. I think I want to say City Council, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to get that wrong, but I think Willie D should do. I said, man, you the king of Houston. Go run for whatever you want. Take what him and Scarface are both running for office. I think that's the greatest thing. I look forward to seeing the evolution of hip hop in terms of what these artists become, as they continue to get older, because they're still actually great artists. They still make great. Scarface, Willie D, T.I., Killer Mike, all of them still make great music, and the music gets better with time. Ice Cube's music is actually better now than it used to be. I still listen to it just like I listened to it back in the day. So now hip hop is evolving like jazz did, where now some of the artists are just they're not all teenagers anymore, but that's what you need. You need hip hop to grow up a little bit, and I think that you have some grown-ups in the room that can kind of help us evolve as a people. So God bless all of these dudes. I think that they're wonderful. I think that what they're doing is great. And by the way, we're at the All Black National Convention right now. We start tonight. We're going to do our special sessions on how to invest in the stock market, and also how to get your business off the ground. Attorney Nicole Compton is going to answer questions. Noma Langum with Shally Moses, Danielle Pierce, and Sharif Abdul Malik, and some others are here. In fact, I'm going to call Sharif in a minute. Sharif created WeBuyBlack.com. I like Sharif Abdul Malik because Sharif Abdul Malik is a template of what I want 1 million of our children to be. I want us to create 1 million Sharif Abdul Maliks for the next generation, so that these individuals will be the ones who terraform our economic future. These are the ones who are going to create, 10, 20, 30, 40, 100,000 jobs, and they're going to make Black America and Black people great again from all over the world. I really believe that. I really believe that that's the future that we can have. I believe that's what's going to make us amazing, and I'm really excited. So let me get on down here, guys. I got to bounce, but you'll see me checking in periodically, and I'll send you some footage from the convention. I hope you guys will come to the next one. The 2020, we don't know where it's going to be. We're thinking about London. We're thinking about taking it across the sea, encouraging our people to travel overseas and get the passport. But I'll let you guys know what we choose to do. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and also go to theblackbusinessschool.com if you want to talk to somebody about getting your future started today. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Have a good day. Peace.